Hello, welcome to Thirsty Thursday. Today is March 7th, and I have Dos Equis. I don't know why that matters that I said it's March 7th, but it just felt right, so I said it. Let me get everything pulled up here so I can see comments, make sure we're actually live and you can actually hear me. That looks good. So today I want to talk about competition because competition is something that people talk about a ton. How do I stand out from my competition? How do I differentiate myself? How do I make people realize what I do, different from my competitors? How do I make myself seem better than my competitors? All of those questions that roll around in our head, that's what we're going to be talking about today. So, competition. Okay, I think I got everything pulled up. We are live. We are in the right place. Cool. Okay. So, like I said, this is something that I actually really like talking about because people have a ton of questions about it. And when I say stuff like, there's no such thing as competition, people are like, that's not real. What are you talking about? So I love talking about it. The first thing that, like I said, is competition is not real. That's my main stance. And the reason that I fully, truly, 100% believe that has to do with branding, right? So you brand yourself and you brand your business. And if you do that correctly, then there legitimately is no such thing as competition. So here's the difference. Here's an example. Let's say I'm Brooke, and I have my business doing branding for anyone, entrepreneurs. I'm putting my stuff out there. I'm talking about, I can help you with your messaging. I can help you with copywriting. I can help you with your website. I can help you, define your ideal client. All of these things that I do. I'm putting that out there. That's what I'm talking about in my Facebook posts and in my Instagram posts. And then on the other side, we have Joe Blow down the street who does literally the exact same thing as me, right? Which there are a ton of people out there who do branding. They help with copywriting, they help with messaging, they help with ideal client research, all of those things that I just said. A shit ton of people do that exact same thing that I do, right? And I'm sure that it's the same in your industry. I have yet to hear of an industry where there's only one person doing it, right? We all have people in our exact same industry doing essentially the literal exact same things that we are doing to help our clients. Hi, Crystal. I'm so glad you're here. And Lucy, hi Lucy. Yes, always say hi when you get here so I know that you're here and I can engage with you. I love talking to people while I'm on live. I say that in every single live, and I'm going to continue to say it in every single live, I'm sure, because I love talking to people. I love not staring at myself. Hey, go. Sorry, my dog. Yeah. So, like I was saying, people are in our industry, right? People do the exact same thing as us. And that was something that totally freaked me out when I first started my business. And that's what I hear most often when people are first starting out is, how am I going to stand out? Why should I even try to do this when somebody else already does it? They're already doing it. They're doing a good job. I'm not going to be able to do it any better. This is a waste of my time. And then they don't even try. And I hate seeing that. It breaks my heart. So that's why I feel like this topic is super important, because I fully, truly, 100% believe there's no such thing as competition, and here's why. People don't buy what you do. They don't buy your service. They aren't buying from you because of whatever the thing is that you're providing. They are buying from you because they feel a connection with you. They feel like you are the person to help them. They like the way that you present the information, the way that your brain works, the way that you connect with them, essentially. And that's what people pay for. People can learn information from anywhere. Every single thing that I teach, and I am so not scared to say this, every single thing that I teach in my business, you can Google and find the answer. You can Google it. Everything is Googleable. Everything is on the internet for free. Everything that you do is on the internet for free. Sorry, not sorry. If you're a mindset coach, if you make jewelry, if you, are a lawn landscaper, every single bit of the information and the service that you provide to your clients, they can do themselves and they can find out how to do it for free. And I feel like that is so, so important to remember when we're talking about building our businesses, especially online. It's way more important online. So just taking a second to recognize that they are not buying your thing. They can get your thing from literally anywhere. They are buying you. They are buying the way that you present the information, the way that you teach the information, and how you connect with them on a personal level. So anyone that's been in any of my programs, again, I'm just going to keep going with this same example because I feel like it's so, so important to understand this. Anyone that's been in one of my group programs, I teach the same thing as everyone else in their group program. So I'm thinking of like Kay Putnam. I don't know if you guys have heard of Kay Putnam. She does essentially the exact same thing that I do. She has a brand archetype quiz. She teaches how to do branding, how to stand out online, and how to build your brand. She does the same thing. We've had Amber come in here. Amber Brooks has been on a Spotlight Sunday in here. She's one of my really good friends. We call ourselves #brandtwins. Amber does the exact same thing that I do. And it doesn't freaking matter because my people like me for me. Amber's like her for her. Kay Putnam's like her for her. Our personalities are that's what makes it different. That's what makes us stand out. The way that we talk about it and the way that we infuse our experiences, our life experiences, and our voice and everything that makes us us into our brand, that's why people choose us. So even though Kay Putnam and I do literally almost the exact same thing, our ideal clients are totally different, and the way that we present ourselves is completely different. Like her brand archetype is very like magician-y girl next door type, and I'm like not at all, and that's amazing. That's perfect. That's what makes us able to both be successful online without being in competition at all. Like, even though we do the same thing, we're not in competition. And I think that's so, so, so important to remember. So I see a couple people hopped on also. Say hi, let me know you're here, and tell me if this is making sense to you. Like, tell me if this has been a struggle for you, if you've thought some of these things like, how am I going to stand out against my competition? Or there's already too many people in my industry doing this. Why should I try to do it? How do I make it known to my ideal clients that I'm doing something different? Let me know if you've had those questions before. Victoria, hi, I see Victoria came on. Cool. Okay, so the first thing that I put on my list of questions to answer is, does competition really matter? I think I've answered that pretty much. I don't think it matters. What I want to come back to answer that question more fully, though, is to just make sure that it doesn't matter. And the way that you make sure that it doesn't matter is, again, putting your personality into everything that you're doing and building your brand around you and not your service, not what you're offering. So if you are that first example that I gave, if you are out there every day on your Instagram and you're getting on there and you're talking about all the benefits of what you do and like how you help people nail their target market, or how you help people lose 20 pounds, or how you help people, whatever it is that you do, if that is all that you're talking about, then your ideal clients have no way of knowing what's different about you versus everybody else that helps them lose 20 pounds on Instagram. Because I feel like everybody on Instagram is a health coach or a weight loss coach lately. I don't know. Maybe that's just me and the people I follow. But regardless, if you're not infusing you into it, if you're not talking about you and your personal experiences and the way that the information, processes in your brain and your experiences with it, then there really is no difference between you and the other 30,000 people on Instagram who are teaching the same thing, right? That's when it does matter. That's when it's like, oh shit, I'm saying the exact same thing as every single other person on the internet, and I can't make myself sound any different. That's the problem. That's what it is. This is a really, really simple lesson today. Like, this is a really, really simple concept to grasp, but it's harder to implement, right? And it's not that it's difficult, it's that it's sometimes scary to implement, right? It's scary to put yourself out there and make yourself vulnerable and share personal stories. It's so much easier for me to get on Facebook or Instagram and just say, hey, I can help you nail your target market. I can help you define your ideal client and pick a niche, and I can help you set up your website and set up your funnel and tie all your systems together. That's easy to say. That's also really easy to Google and find, right? But people don't want that. That's not why they come to you. They come to you because they resonate with the way that you teach the information. And if they can't get to know you, if you're not putting yourself into it, then they can't know the way that your brain works. And they can't know that you're the right fit for them if you don't tell them that. And again, this is so much more important in online businesses, which I'd say 95% of us in here are online businesses. In person, you have much more, it's much easier to kind of get a feel for somebody and see if you like them and if you like their style when you're talking to them face to face in a room. Online, that's where all this stuff comes in to play a whole lot more, right? You have to actually tell people exactly what it is about you that makes you different. And that's what's really hard. But if you don't do it, then competition does matter. Unfortunately, then you're saying the exact same thing as everyone else, and you're not going to stand out. You're going to blend right in, and you're going to be boring as shit. Again, sorry, not sorry. That's what happens. Amber's here. Amber, I was just talking about you a second ago. Amber is my perfect example of community over competition. # brand twins, me and Amber. So do you guys remember this? That was that Justin Timberlake Saturday Night Live thing where the hashtag video. I'll have to look it up and post it because it was hilarious. But anyway, Amber is essentially, she does almost the exact same thing as me. Obviously, there are little differences, but it doesn't freaking matter because my people come to me for me and Amber's people go to her for her, and we can help each other so much easier than we can, worry about competition and worry about what the other one's doing and should I be doing this or should I be doing that. Just freaking be you and do whatever the F you want to do and use that to bring the right people to you. That's how you make competition not matter. So when we go back and read these comments, it's almost midnight here. I had to set an alarm to wake me up. Oh, that's so awesome that you came, even though it's almost midnight. Just for future reference, I love that you're here live. I'm so excited. The replays are available also in the group. So if you ever don't want to stay up until midnight, totally understandable. You can always watch the replays on these videos too. But you do get to come and ask questions live if you're here live. So bonus there. Crystal, I have definitely thought this, but your course and working with some clients makes it a little easier. Yes. Yeah. And, I actually just saw this online today and I was like, oh my gosh, yes, this is so true. It was actually Christy, someone else who was in my group program. She posted something that it said, clarity equals confidence or confidence comes from clarity or something like that. And that's so true. So like Crystal said, the more that you put yourself out there and the more that you do this, even though it's hard at first to like open up and be vulnerable, the more that you do it, the easier it gets and the clearer it gets to you and to your audience what the difference is and what your message really is that you're trying to say. And that, again, that is what helps you stand out. That is what makes you different from every single other person teaching the exact same thing as you and makes you different from just Googling. That's one of like the main things I said in my group program that just finished. Like every single thing that I'm teaching in here, every single thing that you teach, people can Google and get for free. It's not about the content. It's about how you structure the information and how you help people implement the information and take action. So especially for me too, that sage archetype comes out a lot for me, and I'm a chronic hoarder of information. I love learning new things. I love taking all the courses and taking all the programs and learning all of the strategies. But I know this about myself. It's my struggle is implementing it and taking action. And I need that accountability. And that's what I look for when I look for, coaches and mentors and programs to be in. I don't need more strategy. I know the strategy. I need to be held accountable and I need to, get help implementing it. So that's one of the things about me that's different than, like I said, Kay, or maybe that's different about Amber, whatever your core takeaways are and whatever your personality traits are going to skew the way that you present the information. So like I said, for me, that's my experience. My experience is with hoarding information and not being able to take action. Now that I feel like I've mastered that, I've come up with a way to hold myself accountable and get shit done, like it says in my sign. That is, the twist that I put on almost all of my content, whether it's this free content like this video right now or in my group program. That twist that I put on it is always about taking action and implementing, whereas other brand strategists might focus more on design, or they might focus more on ideal client, or I know Amber focuses a lot on ideal client research. All of that stuff, again, is super important and you need all of it, but it's all about finding the person who you resonate with the most and their experiences and their values and their beliefs line up with yours, right? So that's why it's so important to share that information with the world. If people don't know those things about you, they can't connect with you and they can't know that you're the right person. You don't know what you don't know, right? You have to tell them. That's how you really stand out. Cool. Yes, totally get it. Okay. I've thought about this and it was slowing me down. Okay. Glad to hear that this is resonating and this is, the right thing to be talking about. And double check. I want to make sure I'm saying your name right too. I don't like saying people's names wrong. So is it Eloho? Like if you can do the little description thing when you type it out and just make sure I'm saying that right. Crystal, yes, it's scary to be vulnerable. Hell yeah, it is. It is so scary to be vulnerable, but it's so important, right? I think we all agree that that's the only way that we're going to stand out. If we just talk about the features and if we just talk about the service and the thing, that's the same thing that everybody else is saying, and we don't want that. Yes, Amber. So I had to switch devices right when you said my name. Yes, but we're so alike, but I learn from you all the time. Yes, and that's such a good point too, Amber. And that's one of the main things I wanted to talk about today is the community over competition aspect. If you are not worried about what everyone else is doing, there is so much opportunity for friendship and collaboration. Like, nobody gets it more than Amber does, right? For me, like, we're doing the same thing. But if I were over here like, oh, Amber's competition, how am I going to stand out from her? How am I going to make myself different from her? How do I, make my content sound better than hers? Instead of worrying about all that shit all the time, I'm able to make BFFs with Amber and have her come into my group and me go into her group, and we help each other grow. We help each other, with all the sides of our content. She adds things to my live videos in the comments all the freaking time that, bring stuff up. And it's so cool to me. I love having that opportunity to bring in outside support. No matter what you're doing, you don't know everything. Sorry. Again, I'm just like saying everything in my head today, no filter, but you don't know everything. I don't know everything. And it's so cool to be able to bring in these other people who have different perspectives, even if it's on the exact same topic, because like I said, your people are going to resonate with the way that you say it and the way that you present it. So maybe I can say this stuff about competition and maybe it's just not clicking for you. Maybe it's your brain works different than mine, and that's totally okay. But maybe Amber says it in a way that it's like, oh my gosh, yes, that totally makes sense. That's okay. That's okay. And that's the whole other side to this, topic too, right? We have to be totally okay with not being able to help every single person on the planet. We only want to work with our ideal clients. I don't want to work with anybody that doesn't want to work with me. I only want to work with my absolute ideal clients who share my beliefs and share my values and share, the way that my brain works and the way that I present information. They like the fact that I say whatever pops into my head, and they like, the way that I talk about strategy and implementation and taking action. Whereas some other people who are not my ideal clients, they might not like that. They might not like me being direct. They might want to talk about more of the mindset woo-woo stuff that is not my strength. That's okay. And you have to be able to recognize that, and you have to, about yourself, and you have to realize that you can't be everything for everyone. And I remember that was something that was scary for me when I started. And now I'm just good. It's easy for me now. So that's coming back to that thing you said that Christy shared earlier, the clarity and the confidence comes from clarity, sorry. And then all of that stuff, clarity and confidence, comes from taking action. You can't know those things about yourself until you get out there and do it and talk about it and try, right? Cool. Crystal says, I'm an information hoarder too. Yes, it's a problem. I have, Crystal's seen them in my group program. I showed everybody all of my folders of just hoarded information. So, yes, I pronounced it right. Okay, good. I never think about that with you ever. Good, Amber. I love it. So I'm so glad Amber came on today because it's that perfect example of community over competition and the way that you can help each other grow. I'm not worried about Amber stealing my clients, and I'm sure she's not worried about me stealing her clients, because it's not about that. It's about speaking in the way that resonates with your people and allowing them to come to you and being available for them to come to you and recognizing that not everybody is going to like you, and that is totally okay. Totally okay. So I think I answered all of the questions in the list. We had, does competition matter? Who is considered competition? That's really just anybody that's doing the same thing as you. So when we talked about, sharing all the different bullet points of everything that you do, or I like to use the example of going on somebody's website and you click on services and it's like bullet points of every single thing they can help you with. If that's all you're talking about online, if that's all that you're sharing, then you're going to be saying the same thing as everyone else. So anybody is competition if they are also talking about all those same bullet points that you are. Again, if that's all you're talking about. When you bring yourself into it, when you bring your personality into it, your experience, your perspective, your brain, that's what makes you stand out. Yeah, so that was all the questions I had. If anyone else has any questions, now is the time to put them in. Amber says, and they like that you don't talk in a language that's not your own. Yes. I feel like that's a huge struggle when we first start out, and it was for me. So I'm going to read the rest of your comment and then come back. But people who want to be authentically them, people want to be authentically them and be around people like them when they're unfiltered. Yes. But if you're pretending to be something you're not going to click with your people. Love that I can curse with you. Yes, exactly. And people can tell when you're not being yourself, right? People can tell when you're being fake. And that's a huge thing online, especially on Instagram. Like, Instagram's all about like happy, inspirational, yay me feeds. And if it's real, it's awesome. If it's true, then it's awesome. But people have way more of a tendency to feel like they need to be fake and be something that they're not on Instagram than other platforms. But people can freaking tell when you're not being yourself, and it makes them feel like they can't be themselves. So just being you, being who you are, recognizing what your innate strengths are, from your personality type, or, I do the archetype quiz. It might be your Myers-Briggs, or it might be human design, or Enneagram, or literally any of those things. It doesn't matter. Recognizing what it is about you that makes you different, and then that's what you talk about. That's the spin that you put on your content. That's the things that your social media posts should be about. If you're just being the real you and showing up without feeling fake and feeling like, I don't know what to talk about, I don't know how to say this in a way that they're going to get it, just say it how you get it. Just say it the way that you want to say it. Talk like you're talking to your best friend. And then the right people who are going to feel comfortable with you are going to be drawn to that. And the ones who are not going to be drawn to that. They'll go to their person, and that's awesome. That's totally okay. So, I love it. See, again, Amber, bringing more value to my lives, even though she does the same thing. I love it. Yes, just be yourself. Exactly. Just be yourself. Just be your freaking self. Stop trying to be somebody you're not. Stop trying to be fake. Stop trying to say the things that you think people want to hear. Stop trying to reword your sentences into the words that you think your ideal clients are going to resonate with. Use the words that you use, and the right people will be drawn to that. It's like the chicken before the egg, or the cart before the horse thing. Don't pick an ideal client. Don't just say, I want to work with busy moms. If you're not a mom, obviously that's probably a bad example, because most people don't say that unless they are moms. But, don't say, I want to work with blah, 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 if you have nothing in common with them, because you're not going to be able to speak to them authentically. I don't like that word because everybody uses it, but you get what I mean. You're not going to be able to be the real you if you can't talk to them in a way that you're just being you. So instead of picking an ideal client and then trying to figure out how to say something in their words, just say things in your words, say things the way you say them, and then let the ideal clients come to you. Let them find you. Let the right people be drawn in because they're resonating with it instead of the other way around. And I think a lot of programs and a lot of free stuff teaches that backwards way. Pick an ideal client, understand everything about them, and then figure out how to talk to them. And it is important to make sure that I don't want to like diminish doing ideal client research. Obviously, it's insanely important and I do a ton of it. But making sure that you're understanding who they are at their core, their beliefs and their values, and who they are as a person before you're trying to, tailor something to them, because that's when it comes off as fake. Pick somebody that you automatically resonate with. And obviously the freaking easiest way to do this is just if your ideal client is you, like a past version of you. If you're in a business where that's not really how it works, or like maybe you're a doctor that treats certain types of diseases that you haven't had or something like that. Obviously that's different, but you still have to input that personality into it. You still have to talk about your perspective and your experience and the things that you've seen, the clients that you've worked with, whatever it is. If they're not feeling that personal connection to you, if they're not feeling that, then it doesn't freaking matter. You're not going to stand out. You're going to blend in. You're going to be boring. You're going to be saying the same shit that everybody else on the internet is saying. That's it. That's my message today. That's all I got. Don't say the same shit as everyone else. Just be you. Put you into it and you'll stand out on your own and the right clients will find you. It really is as simple as that. That doesn't mean that it's easy. It takes work. Like I said, it's hard to, be vulnerable and put yourself out there. I recognize that, but it's simple. It really is simple to just, that's all you got to do. It's just wrapping your head around actually doing it and talking yourself up or whatever you need to do to be brave enough to try. And I promise you will be surprised at what happens if you do, because the right people just come. And use stories. Yes, use stories. So personal stories. That's always better than just, reading boring lists of things. Like, put it in a story format. Amber, don't you have, what's your story group? Amber has a group, Storytellers Anonymous. Are you still doing that one? Where you can practice telling stories. So look at me again, promoting other people's things, even though she does the same thing. I'm so excited to do it too, because I don't have anything like that. And just because, I'm not teaching it doesn't mean that you still can't get value from both of us. I love it. I love, walking my talk. So I'm going to point it out every chance I can. Yeah, Lucy. Okay. You're welcome, Lucy. Karen says, I'm starting to do this and it's so much easier and feels better. Yes, doesn't it? It's just like a weight lifted when you just can quit feeling fake. Nobody wants to feel slimy or sleazy or gross. And again, your audience can tell. If your energy is not behind it, if you don't feel good about what you're doing, then people can freaking tell. And it's not gonna work anyway. Aside from you being boring and sounding like everyone else and feeling gross about it, it's also just not gonna work. And obviously we want our businesses to work. We want to be successful. So that's the way to do it. Put your shit in there. Okay. Amber says, I like your Mexico story. Yeah, my Mexico story. That was the one about sales. I was talking about the annoying person that was trying to sell us the timeshare, I think, in Mexico. So I related it back to a sales story. And it's so easy to do that once you get in the habit of it. So I was going to say this a minute ago too. This is really hard, I feel like, when you first start your business. It certainly was for me, because I came from corporate. I came from sitting in a cube for 5 years, and you have to watch what you say, and you have to say things the right way, and you have to put on a face every day. At least I did. I don't know. Maybe you fit in your cube world. I did not. But regardless, you still have to break away from that. You have to get yourself out into the world. You have to find your voice and make everything your own. And it gets so much easier with practice. Like, it was really hard for me at first. It was extremely hard. But the more that you do it, the easier it gets. That clarity, again, comes from action. Clarity and confidence come from taking action and just freaking doing it. Like, stop waiting. If you're like me, like, stop taking courses and stop, planning how to do things and just go try to do it. Just do it. And it gets way easier. But, okay. Storytellers Anonymous. Yes, Amber. I came from nonprofit and a lifetime of being made to feel like I should be someone I wasn't. Same. Yes. Christy, finding my voice has been one of the greatest things I've done for my business. Yes, I totally agree with Christy. Christy, I was talking about you too before you hopped on, I think. So you'll have to go back and watch the beginning of it. I was talking about Christy's Instagram post earlier about the confidence comes from clarity. That's her. So awesome. Well, that's all I got for you guys today. I'll wait one more minute since I know there's the time lag. Take a sip of my Dos Equis and let me know if anybody has any more questions about competition or any other experiences that you want to share, or if you want to practice telling your story, go check out Amber's program, the Storytellers Anonymous. I've heard awesome things about it. So, my dog's staring at me awkwardly. I've been on calls all day today. I've spent 5.5 hours on Zoom today, so my dogs are very annoyed with me, and they've been interrupting them all day by scratching and hitting my desk and wanting attention. They just want attention. So, cool. Okay, well, if there's no more questions, that's totally cool. Anybody watching the replay, let me know that you're watching. Say hello and ask any questions that you have there. Christy says, I'll watch the replay. My mom called right before you went live. Dang, Mom. Doesn't she know? We got stuff to talk about today. No, I'm just kidding. Well, cool. I will talk to you guys soon then. We do have a Spotlight Sunday this week. I'm going to put in that information tomorrow. And you guys probably saw I put out another event, like open invitation for every single person in this group to come do Spotlight Sunday. I want to hear from everyone. So, Christy, I think you said you're close to being done. Amber's already done one, but hell, if you want to do another one, Amber, we can do another one. Karen, you haven't done one yet, and Lucy, I would love to see you guys on Spotlight Sunday. So all you do is come on and share what you're doing. Share your message. Share with everybody. That's literally all it is. I want to help you guys practice what I'm talking about here. Practice being visible. Practice getting out there and getting your voice heard and sharing your message and talking about your business and promoting your thing. There's, I think, like 475 people in this group now. That's a lot of opportunities for people to hear what you need them to hear, right? And totally for free. And you can just come hang out on live with me. Like, it's super fun, if nothing else. So I would love for everyone to sign up for Spotlight Sunday. And yeah, that's all I got today. So I will talk to you all soon. Adios.